welcome everybody to the 12 o'clock show with Mayor Joe, and we are here live at Vick's. Thank you for having us here today.
Thank you for being here.
So let's introduce ourselves a little bit. Obviously, we have the Queen of Vick's, I guess we can call that. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Charlotte Vickers.
And then helping out.
I am Danny, a part of the Vick's wonderful management team.
So we've got a lot of cool things to talk about, but the first thing is we're going to do a little bit of a contest we talked about. All right, so we all know that Vick's has great pizza, and that's going to be the number one thing. But what is, and this is your trivia question, what is the most popular non-pizza food item, no beer, because I know that that's where somebody was going. What's the most popular non-food item that Vick's sells? And we're going to get that answer later on in the show. And then at that point in time, put your guesses in the chat, and if one of you guesses correct, we'll have some kind of a special reward for you. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right. So Vick's has been here for a while, and when we talked the other week, I said, well, I'm going to ask you about the history of Vick's. And you said we need at least a couple of hours for that. So can you give me just like a brief history of Vick's, let's say the last 10 years or so?
Well, first thing I'd like to get right off the bat is Vick's is still here. Doug and I still own Vick's, so let's clear that up. It's going to be here for a while yet, I think. So we're trying to negotiate on some things on that side. But the last 10 years, I think a lot of the people in Rosburg knew what happened. We moved into the old Home Hardware store, which was 2 years and 8 months of our life. And Little Vick's helped make this happen. That little tiny store over there had been there 58 years, accomplished what we're sitting here looking at today. And that is definitely one of the most proudest things I am that Doug and I have done since we've lived in Brownsburg. To know that this was doable. A lot of people didn't think it was doable. I had a few banks say that it wasn't doable. So I just had to put that in there. But also give West Banco a little plug. They did come through for us a little bit there towards the end. Thank you, West Banco. But that being said, so we've been here now, it's hard to believe, I think 9 years, Joe. And we're still, we went through a lot. We went through COVID, and we went through the construction out here on Main Street. And went through a lot of battles and up and down. And it's still, the people of Rosburg still flourished here. They still helped us keep it here, and that I'm very grateful to them for that. So, yeah.
It was cool because when I put the advertisements out, there were a few people that were saying, "Oh, I can't wait. Every time I come back into Ohio, I always make sure I go to Vick's and things like that."
Absolutely.
So people that have long since passed and left Reynoldsburg, they're all still coming back, and that's their stop to come here. So that's a huge thing.
Right.
So, what about you? What's your favorite part of this new store? What do you think?
To have a single favorite part is impossible. When you walk into Vick's, it is an extension of the Reynoldsburg community. So I guess my favorite part would be having our community come in here, and you see all walks of life, children, all different age groups, teachers, people from the government, but then you also have our wonderful citizens that make Reynoldsburg what it is, which is home. And so it's really great to be able to come in here and just interact and engage and watch people smile and create those nostalgic memories that they're going to look back on one day.
So it's amazing to see what it is. With the construction being done and that part is over with and all of that, the amount of people that I will see walking in, especially when we get into that 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock time frame, things like that. I will see people come and walk and come in. And when I'm walking up and down Main Street, I feel like I'm peeking in the windows and I'm seeing people already in here and all that. So it's always a good thing. So it's finally coming to fruition. Now, do you each have like a favorite food at Vick's, just your own? Is there something that you like favorite pizza, favorite toppings, things like that?
My go-to is still the traditional pepperoni, and I'm a hot pepper girl, so I like hot peppers on our pizza. So, but pepperoni is still the go-to. Pineapple has become the questionnaire of the items of everybody likes to talk about. Amazingly enough, it is on the rise.
How about you?
I would say I am an extreme pizza lover, but I also above that it would be our hot wings, the hot garlic parm bone-in wings every single time.
So outside, when I'm here on the times that I come here for lunch, and I'm not doing the pizza thing. I usually just the hot ham and Swiss sub. Those are there's something about that. It's between that and the fries. That's for me. Again, if I'm not getting pizza. All right. So do we have a couple of guesses for the top selling item?
We have one so far.
One so far. All right. We'll give it a couple of seconds for that. So obviously, we're not sitting outside today. You know, you have a patio area. We're not sitting outside today. When it does get warmer and the patio opens, you're going to need some staff. So if there's somebody out there that would like to join the Vick's team and things like that, what would be the best way to do that?
Well, the best way to do it is going back to that classic old-fashioned family way. Stop in, say hi. You can ask for anybody here on our management team, and we'd be more than happy to come out and give you a paper application and give you a call back.
That is paper, things that you write with. So my oldest is actually going through the joys of he just graduated, so he's doing all the online application things and how repetitive that gets as opposed to just having something to submit. So, all right. So what's our guess? What's the guess for?
The guess we just got is subs.
Subs is not the correct answer. So we're gonna give it a few more
Give
minutes
people a
on
little
that
bit more
one.
time to try.
Yeah,
Guess
well,
what that it would
throw
be.
it out there. There's a whole bunch of things. Here's the menu. No, I'm just kidding. You actually have to take a look around. So that's actually
All right.
the Vick's menu, so take a look at it. It's not just pizza. There's a whole bunch of other things. We mentioned the subs, which is not there. Fries, the mozzarella, kind of a cheese stick thing is always fun too for something that is not, again, pizza. I would say that I know when both my kids were at home and teenagers, it was one of those things where they could plow through a Raider with no leftovers, just the two of them, and it was without even blinking. Do you sell a lot of Raiders? Is that still one of the popular?
It absolutely is. I'll have to give Doug that marketing genius there for him because when he came up with that probably about 30 years ago, I guess it's been on our menu for about 30 years. He said, let's call it the Raider. And, by golly, it has been definitely what's kept us alive, I think, coming up with that as for the Raider. But, yeah.
It's again, that was always the constant in our family for a long time. So, anything else? Any other guesses?
JoJo's?
JoJo's. That's a good guess.
JoJo's.
That is a good guess.
JoJo's is a very popular appetizer here at Vick's.
Still not the right answer though, right? Is that what we're hearing? Still keep guesses coming?
Keep guessing.
All right, keep
All right.
guessing.
So obviously you have been here for a while, and I completely forgot to ask, what's special about this year? This is the 64th anniversary of
Yes,
Vick's.
it is. What's special about this year? Well, it's a good question, Joe. You've got me stumped here a little bit. For me, what's special about this year is that I'm just thankful to be here, and Vick's is still surviving. And to me, it makes it special just knowing that somebody has our backs, and I am not real sure. I think I know who it is, but all in all, that's what I'm most proud of, is the fact that the community has been more than generous about contributing, coming here and supporting us. And this whole building has been amazing to go through and just watch it change, because we're doing different things to it all the time. So
It's a beautiful building.
yeah, and we're still doing things to it and making it better. So I'd like to say real quick, the venue upstairs is now going to be part of the community. It's going to be we're going to be making some plans to actually have the city be a little more involved in the venue up there by making it available to them for events and stuff. So we are excited about that. That's going to be our next big event that's going to happen. That we're hoping to reopen the venue upstairs and have some events up there. So
It's a beautiful space. I'm sure we'll come up with some pretty good ideas for everything.
I hope so.
So, yeah, I know. Stop. It's Jennifer. She's already thinking. All right. Well, I do appreciate it. I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you've got a lot of things ready to go. I know that there's some pepperoni pizza that I'm looking at over there at the table that I'm going to snack on here in a little bit. But I do want to thank you. This is the first of what I hope will be many kind of like some small business shout outs. And And I will say this was not really my idea. This was your idea. You reached out and thought about, hey, what about this? And then all of a sudden, boom, here we are. Because again, this is an institution in our community, and we have to support our local businesses.
Right. Yes.
You mentioned the road construction and all of that, and thankfully that is behind us. Now we can start kind of building out. We've got some great venues across the way. Some cool things are happening in other parts of Old Town that I think are going to draw some people to our community, so it's going to be a lot of fun. You're more than welcome to stay while I kind of go over some other things, but if you've got other things to do, happy to do that as well. It's completely, because I know how much you were looking forward to being on camera for this.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to go pop back and work on your guys' cases and send back to City Hall, but I do want to thank you so very much for accepting the offer to come in here, because it's not just Vicks, but it's all the businesses in Reynoldsburg. Because if we look at what's outside, it might have not been fun in the process, but being somebody who not only lives and works in this,
Yes.
to walk outside now and be able to enjoy a great walk space, it is bringing the community back to life. So thank you, Joe, and you have a beautiful day.
You too.
We do have two more
Thanks,
guesses.
Two more guesses? Good.
So the first guess is Johnny Marzetti, and the second one is cheesy garlic bread.
All right, so I find it, nobody got the right guess. So I think what we could do is let's say the right guess, and let's pick one of those particular people. They can number it, and we'll have one of you pick a number, and then we'll go ahead and do something as well. So actually, the next most popular item is actually lasagna, which is a huge
Homemade.
thing, homemade lasagna.
Yeah.
So how many guesses did we have total?
4.
All right, so 4. So what we'll do is one of you can pick a number between 1 and 4. We don't know which one it is, and that'll be our lucky recipient for something.
Great.
3 it is. So if you're lucky contestant number 3, we will figure something out, and we'll message you about arranging a cool little prize. Yeah, I know, and I forget, we have this in here. This is a special. You guys have got the special for today, and this is today only, right? This is the
Today's
last
the last day.
Today's the last day. You can get cheese or one pepperoni pizza, cheese or pepperoni, for $10 today. So come and try out our pizza.
It's worth it. It is definitely the pride of Reynoldsburg. So thank you very
All
much.
right.
I appreciate it. We'll make sure we'll clean up after we're done.
Okay.
We'll clean it up. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
All right, so we got a couple other things. Last night, the Reynoldsburg City School Board had their meeting where they again started to discuss some things about what potential levy cuts are coming in there. There were some very powerful speakers talking about the importance of assistant principals. So I know that French Run Elementary and Summit Elementary was there, and Rose Hill Elementary also had some presence. So there were a lot of people in there talking about the importance of it. But what was nice is there were other communities there talking about what's important to them with the schools. The board has some difficult decisions to make in the coming weeks, but to have that feedback, to understand how important our assistant principals and social workers and counselors are, is a huge thing. I encourage you to make your feelings known, to let the board know, let the superintendent know what your thoughts are, because those decisions unfortunately have to come, but they're going to try and do a best job to keep as much as they can. There are a couple of opportunities between now and the end of the month for office hour meetings. We have board member Mandy Young will be at the Graham Road Welcome Center this Thursday from 1 to 2. And then we'll have President Angela Abram will be at the Graham Welcome Center from 5 to 6 p.m. on Tuesday, January 28th. And then board member Mandy Young will be back again next Thursday, January 30th from 1 to 2. So if you want to have a little bit more one-on-one time and give and take conversation, please try and make a time to go and talk to the board members so they know what the community is feeling, so that way when the decisions are made, we all are on the same page with everything. So I look forward to hearing some people showing up, because I know they don't have a lot of people show up to those office hours. We do have a little bit of an update on Wagner Road. Some of the construction work is going to continue, so they'll probably be out tomorrow, because apparently it's a little cold out the last couple of days. But they'll get out and work on some other things, and it looks like there might be a break in the weather next week to get some of the waterproofing done, and once that's done, then the rest of the project can continue. Again, we're still on time. We're still looking to finish this thing up by August of 2025 for Phase 1, then Phase 2 will start after that. We'll also have some things on the council agenda for some of the road programs coming up as well. We do have a big event on February 18th at the Reynoldsburg Library. This is going to be the results of the grant that we applied for to do the study of the Blacklick Creek corridor, and so we're going to look at that and actually have some solutions. Some of them will be small in scale, some of them may be bigger. But once we get an idea of what our possibilities are, we're going to go ahead and make make sure that we try and address some of these flooding issues that have been here for quite some time. Our parks program is at it. They took like a week off in December, and then now they're back at it again. We have the Adult Euchre League on January 28th through March 18th at Eastside from 6 to 9 p.m. So you can go on out there and play euchre and get annoyed at your partner, because that usually happens. And then after that, you can go and have some fun with some spirituous beverages. We also have the Stained Glass Workshop, January 30th through March 20th, and that's from 6 to 8:30 at the Reynoldsburg Senior Center. And another fun one is Family Fun Night with the Realm of Reptiles on February 5th from 5:30 to 7. Again, all of these things can be registered for online at the Reynoldsburg City Government page, and then it will take you to new login information for Parks and Recs activities. There's also some things out there for sports. In the spring, we've got soccer, baseball, softball, things like that. So check those out. We do have a little bit more news on the Bryce Road Park. Apparently we have now shifted from one batch of attorneys to the next batch of attorneys. So we're getting closer to that. So once that's done, we'll continue to move forward. But to be honest with you, they have a little bit of time because, again, it's a little cold to do too much of anything. But if you have not had the opportunity to drive out Bryce Road, you can at least see the overlook and get an idea of how this is all going to look eventually. One good advantage of not being in the office today is you don't have to see a lot of lights being moved around. City Hall is going under renovations for LED lighting over the last couple of days. We've got most of the second floor done, and they just started working in the first floor yesterday. So within the next, I think they're scheduled about the end of the week next week. City Hall will be all LED lit. It's great. Most everybody the first day had to wear sunglasses in the office because it was a little brighter than they were expecting. But we made some internal adjustments on that one. But it's going to be a great savings for the community. As far as development goes, we do have one cool thing coming up. I'm going to pass this over to, put in there. This is our BYOB event, Build Your Own Business, March 13th from 6 to 7:30 at the Reynoldsburg Community Church. Basically, there's going to be a lot of things in there about how to start a business, how do you finance it, how do you deal with our permitting process and zoning and all of those different types of things. It's also going to be a job fair as well. So we mentioned Vick's. What you have to do here is get the old-fashioned paper applications. But if you're looking for something other than Vick's, there's going to be plenty of businesses there to start looking for employment as we move forward. And I did want to mention a couple of things. I did see a very, 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 very long, in-depth social media post over the weekend about what Reynoldsburg, specifically Old Town area, needs. Some of them were fantastic ideas. Some of them we actually already have. One was mentioning a small place for like local music acts and things like that. That actually, we do have that already with Bouvain's music area. I can't remember how it's the Rock Syndicate. There we go. Thank you to my audience in the background. They just aren't applauding when I make my jokes, so I think we may have to get a new one. But Rock Syndicate is there. We do have a number of coffee shops in the area, including Coffee Paradise and Five Bean, in addition to Caribou Coffee and Starbucks. There are a few other things out there as well. So there's certain things that cities can do and certain things cities cannot do. One is we can recruit all we want. We do make phone calls to any types of businesses to come in, whether they're small boutique retail, whether they're more large scale. We can call and ask all we want, but it's up to them ultimately to decide whether or not they want to come here. And the other part of it is just basic economics. I know the conversation has always been something for people to do, like a bowling alley, movie theater, and then a skating rink. The reality is there's a movie theater that is not too far from Reynoldsburg anyway, so that's not going to happen. And bowling alleys and skating rinks, unfortunately, while for a lot of us, like when we remember our growing up era, we went to those events and things like that. It's just not as popular, and I think the last time the bowling alley opened up in Central Ohio was at the renovated Star Lanes at Polaris, and that was probably about 10 to 12 years ago. A couple of bowling alleys have since closed by then, and there is a roller rink that is in existence. I think there's two in Central Ohio, one off 161 and another one actually not too far off of Livingston and Refugee or somewhere in that area. So those are things that are not there. Now, that doesn't mean the virtual reality games. That would be pretty cool. I would love to see something like that here. Some of the other opportunities as well. And then, of course, restaurants. We've got some things on that, but you can't know about them now. You're going to have to come out to the State of the City, which is in just a couple of weeks, but I'll talk about that more in a bit. So do we have any questions about anything so far?
No.
No questions. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Events, we've got the Reynoldsburg Community Band fundraiser, Sunday, February 2nd at City Barbecue. We also have Reynoldsburg Community Association Spaghetti Dinner. The Community Association is that group that helps fund and produce our 4th of July parade, as well as our Halloween and Christmas on the town events. And this is one of their big events. It's always fun. There's spaghetti there. There's the Texas Roadhouse had the rolls with the cinnamon butter, so I hope you come out to that. That'll be on March 29th from 5 to 8 p.m. at Messiah Church. By that point in time, the bridge to Wagner Road should be open. I'm being serious, it should be. So you can go there. And it's a great opportunity, again, to support some of our community activities out there, so we're always looking forward to that. As mentioned, save the date, February 19th, we will be having our State of the City at City Hall. Doors will open at 6:30 p.m. and then we'll get started around 7 o'clock. It is open to the public. It is not going to be streamed, but we are going to record it, and I'm sure we'll figure out how to produce it and put it out after the fact. And of course, afterwards, I'll be doing a Q&A session if anybody has any questions. But usually after listening, we talk for about 45 minutes. Everybody's just ready to go home. So we'll see. Next week, we have a great show lined up. Reynoldsburg City Schools Athletic Director and basketball coach Andy Moore is going to be our guest. And we're going to learn not only about how amazing the basketball team is doing, but we're going to look at all of our athletes and what they're doing this year to kind of get an idea of where they're at between the bowling team, girls basketball, and others. It's going to be a really fun wrestling team as well. So we're looking forward to how all that works out. So join us next week, and we'll probably talk about what has he heard about what athletics are going to look like for next year as well. So with that, any last-second questions? Is our person that got the lasagna, that the award went for all of that, are they ecstatic? Are they thrilled?
I haven't revealed to them yet. Whoever is.
All right, so it's still the magic thing.
We did have a question come in about the bridge on Wagner Road, and I thought
Yes.
maybe it'd be a good time to send a reminder about on our website that you can, under our construction projects, you can email you directly
Yep.
for updates about it. So if they want to know something in between the shows or
Yep,
just have a
so-
general question, that might be a good resource for our
I
residents.
usually get a couple emails a week on that one. So basically, you go to the project page and the whole thing, and the email will actually say road projects at Reynoldsburg, because obviously, while there's a joke in there that Wagner Road's going to last a really long time. I get it. We decided not to have a Wagner Road specific email, just road projects in general, because we're going to be looking at Wagner this year and next year, and then after that, hopefully Summit Road. So if you have questions about road construction in general, that is a great resource. The email comes directly to me, and I answer it, so that way you can hear it right from where I'm at. I'm in the meetings and talking to the construction crews on a regular basis, so that's a great opportunity to get some good information, in addition to the website and some other places. All right. With that, that's all I have for today. Again, a special shout out to everybody here at Vick's who's made us feel incredibly welcome. They are being very nice and helping to provide some food for the staff back at City Hall. Most of it will get back to the staff, not all of it, because we just took one car. But it's going to be a lot of fun with that one. So again, thank you everybody. Any last second questions?
Nope.
Good. All right, so stay safe, stay respectful, and as always, please put your shopping carts away and make sure you support our local businesses like Vick's. $10 for a large pizza, cheese and pepperoni. We'll see you, everybody.